Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. One thing I wanted to go over today was a really basic tool that I think is very useful when you're just starting, maybe even not even sure if you want to purchase a home, but kind of I think part of helping create a reality that you want to pursue is knowing the basic metrics of that. What does it actually cost to own a house? This is a very, you can figure that out very quickly whether you're with this resource, whether you're looking at a primary residence, a house for you to live in yourself, or a rental, or maybe you're going to be crazy like me and I purchased a triplex as my first home and moved into the unit myself. So it was both a rental and my primary residence, which if honestly, I think if someone is really wanting to grow real estate is a great way to start. But anyway, yeah, if you want to purchase a home, here is a great resource. I'm just going to walk through it from the beginning. And Yeah, a good useful tool to get the basic numbers of how much something's going to cost. Alrighty, so let's go to, it's called Zillow. A lot of people probably have heard of this, maybe you haven't. Um, Zillow.com. But there's a particular resource on Zillow that could be hard to navigate and find yourself without someone showing you. That I think is especially useful for finding how much a property will cost. So let's just go through it. I'm going to walk through it as if I'm looking for this myself. So let's go to, so I went to Zillow, went to click on mortgages there, and now I'm going to go to Mortgage Calculator. And then they already have some pre-filled out information here. It's if the home price was $200,000, we had 20% down on a 30-year fixed. How much would it cost? So let's just do, before we do anything, let's just see current rates because it's going to give us some more options here. So, for example, this is rates for the zip code 63124. I don't know where that is. It's not where I'm at. So you would want to put in your zip code there. And then let's just, yeah, look at this information so it makes more sense before we get more specific. So yeah, like I said, a purchase price of $300,000. If we were going to purchase a home for $300 and we had 20% down, which you do not have to have, I might go over that a little bit shortly, but let's just leave it how it is. And we had a credit score between 720 and 739. This is basically the results that would come from that. Um, so uh, you can see here, these are real mortgage companies saying that they will give you um, a certain mortgage rate and interest rate, APR, and monthly payment. And then it also says the fees. So you can advertise, just to go over how this page basically works, you can arrange by any of these things here. I think these top two are possibly paid, so I don't pay too much attention to those. You can see that they are a higher interest rate. And anyway, I like to organize myself. So I come down here, let's organize by APR. Roughly speaking, the difference between a rate and an APR is this is the rate per year. That's how much you're going to pay per year, um, your interest rate per year. It's 3.75% on this one. APR to me is a little bit more accurate because it's your real rate, your interest, uh, but also including fees and other things. So this is a little bit more accurate. So let's look. Let's just search by APR. We want the lowest first. So just want to make sure. Yeah, so that is our lowest. Anyway, so let's go back into this one and view details here, just so we get an idea. So this is saying this is for a purchase rather than a refinance, and this is for a 30-year loan um, with a fixed rate, which is very common. but it's very good to realize that you they're not always fixed, and that is a metric to pay attention to. Um, Here's our APR rate. Here's our principal and interest, 1,111. And here's our total payment. This is really the most useful number, in my in my opinion, when you're looking to purchase a house. Excuse me. Because there is more. Not if you never purchased a house before, it may not be completely obvious that there's more in your mortgage payment than just your principal and interest. And so let's just go into that and see what they have here. So payment is like it showed earlier, 1,111, and estimated property taxes is $302 for that zip code, and estimated homeowners insurance is basically $60 a month. The total payment is 1,472 per month. So that's the real number, and it's a rough estimate. Usually, for me in my area, when I've done this, these have been a little bit low, not significantly. It is a good idea of the actual price, but it just tends to be slightly higher. But it is this is a good idea of how much this would cost. If I liked these numbers, I could contact the lender by putting in my information here. One thing I like about this tool is I don't have to. I can look at these rates, have an offer of a sort from a lender without ever having them to calling me a million times or sending me a million emails. So that is a very basics, but let's go through, let's be a little more specific here. So let's look at some more options here. So if we click that little down arrow here over on the side, we can look at whether this is a single family home, it is a primary residence, and then let's just keep it to 30-year fixed for now, and say we're not buying points. Points is kind of like, I think of it kind of like an extra down payment, where if you pay more, they'll give you a better interest rate. So let's just assume we're sticking with our down payment of 20%. And I have a feeling we're going to get the exact same because we didn't really change much. Yeah, so we got the same stuff. So now, let's say I do not have $60,000 to put down. What happens if I put 5% down? That's $15,000. That's a little easier for a lot of people to see or have to come up. That down payment is you can actually come up with that. It's literally a fourth of $60,000. But let's keep all the other metrics the same and see how the numbers change with $15,000 down. So here we go. So let's view details here. So now we've got our interest rate, our APR. You can see that's a bigger percent. Your interest will go up. This is our principal and interest. But here is that same $300,000 home, but here's the new payment. You can see it's quite a bit higher. And one thing to realize, here's our numbers again. Here's our principal and interest. And obviously the reason this number is higher, one, our interest rate's higher, and two, since we're not putting as much money down, the actual cost that we're paying for in the home is more. So it just makes perfect sense that it's going to be higher. Here's our estimated property taxes. Again, it's the same number. Here's our homeowners insurance, the same number as before. But this time we have estimated mortgage insurance. So you have your home insurance, your insurance on your home. If the home burns down, you'll get money for that, or a new house. The mortgage insurance is basically insurance on the mortgage. If you stop paying it, you're kind of like paying for your own protection. You're basically paying the bank to insure your mortgage. And that's generally what you have to pay. You generally have to pay mortgage insurance when you are putting down anything less than 20%. And so that's where that extra $185 a month comes from. But yeah, that's what this tool is for. It's to give you a rough idea. If you don't have $60,000, you don't want to put down 20%. Is it still worth to you? Will the numbers still work with something like 5%? And so the same thing, if I wanted to do this, I could put my info in here and start working with them, seeing. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's go back and let's say that this time we're looking at a rental. And actually, I'm going to before I do that, let's stay on primary resident. Let's put 3.5% down. That is generally the lowest you can go. And they actually changed to 4%. Primary residence, single family home with 4% down, which is $10,500 for a $300,000 home. Let's view the details here. So now we're all the way up. We're almost at $2,000 a month for this $300,000 home. Shows our down payment. Let's look here again, and you can see the numbers are, this number is the same again, this number is the same again, but our mortgage insurance has gone up a good amount, and now we're at $46 less than $2,000 a month. So it's just realizing what you can do. Let's now go to, say we're looking to considering purchasing a rental. Let's go down to not single family home. Let's go down to investment rental. Say we're purchasing a single family home, which means it just doesn't have extra units in it. It's just a single family home. But this time it's going to be an investment rental. I can tell you that, let's just do 4%. I don't think there's such a thing as purchasing a rental with 4% down. But the cool thing about this is it will tell you. And it's taken a while. I don't think it's going to find anything. Generally, you need at least 20% down on a rental. So let's try that again. So here we go. So this time it is a rental. Here is our, we're searched by APR, searching again by APR. It's a few details for the one with the lowest APR. So now we're back up again to the $60,000 down. And before, like the interest rate's a little bit worse than before because this was all ones. So we're over $100 more a month because this is a rental. We've got the same property taxes and home insurance are roughly the same, and then we don't have any mortgage insurance. Generally speaking, if you are over 20%, 20% or over down, you do not have to pay mortgage insurance. That's what shows up here. And our estimated total payment is there for an investment property. So you can start. This tool is basically just giving you this rough information and giving you the ability to find a mortgage that will give you this rate without having to talk to a million banks and then getting the info. You can have the info first, the numbers you actually care about, without having to get contacted a million times. And it can also help someone just realizing what the numbers are, especially if they've never done this before. You may not know what each of the metrics are for your area, and this will just give you a real-time cost. So this is in my opinion, an extremely useful tool for when you're just starting out. It's hard to go around and look at homes first if you have no idea if you can afford them. This is just a great way to find that out. So it's also a useful tool. Similarly, you can do the same thing for a refinance. Put all that info in here. Just the same way we did, and get those same basic numbers. Anyway, I'm trying to think what other things I can go over. I think that's really the basics of it. This mortgage rate page is extremely useful. It will give you the metrics that you can then decide if you can afford your primary residence, or if how good of an investment might this particular home really be, if you're going to get, you can start plugging in those numbers of this is how much the payments are per month, and then this is how much the income will be. Is this going to be an investment at all? Or is this home better than this one as an investment property? Because you can start comparing more objective numbers. And anyway, this is one of the first places I start, and it kind of helps me start picturing a reality of, what's the price range of a home I can start looking at, and how much can I really afford, and those basic numbers. Um, it's another thing too. Your bank might not show up on here, but you can now have something when you go into your bank. The people that you like to work with, you have numbers to compare to, and it's just a great base beginning start tool to use in many ways. But let's see here. One thing that I do also, just kind of as a side note, is that I will actually, once I'm really serious and I think I have a home that I want to purchase, and I know the range that I want to purchase it in, I will actually open up a couple of these, and I will fill in, say, 3 or 4 of these, and I will kind of, assuming they're very similar in price, I will uh, see who has the best response, and who I really want to work with, because not all lenders are the same. Some are terrible at communication and some are amazing. And um, there's more than just rates that go into it. But I would use this resource to contact multiple at once. And um, that's just a side note. Something that I also use this for is trying to find the right lender, and it's an easy way to contact multiple once you're at that stage. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope this um, hope this helps make a rental more, buying a home seem feasible to you. Taking a step in that direction should be hopefully a lot more um, something you can picture, and start putting the basic pieces together to see if where you want to go with that, and make that a reality. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. Let me know if there's any questions. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm going to try to put more content like this up. Just really basic, easy steps on purchasing properties, and honestly, business related things that I'm learning myself, that I think would be useful to other people. Um, like I said, yeah, let me know if there's any questions. I love knowing what you guys are thinking about and wondering about. It helps me know if I have what kind of content I can give you guys that's useful. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day. Talk to you later.